Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we have another NBA slate breakdown on DraftKings for Game 6 of the NBA Finals. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please hit that like button and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. Do greatly appreciate all you guys' support and all the new people that have subscribed since the last videos I put up. I also make daily NBA prize pick videos as well. So a lot of good content for you guys to enjoy. NBA prize picks, NBA slate breakdowns on DraftKings. So good stuff. I'm going to have this video out, and then I'll have a prize pick video out later today. So keep an eye out for that. But let's get into the breakdown for today. And before we do, just want to go over my lineup from the last game, Game 5. I went with Tatum as captain. I talked about how I really liked him in kind of like a bounce back spot. I mean, he's playing okay, but went with him as captain, Steph, Thompson, Horford, Green, and then I went back to Iguodala. I wanted to take that risk of, they said he was available to play. I know a lot of people weren't on him last game. I was like, maybe today with Otto Porter Jr. starting, maybe if he does bad, gets in foul trouble, or if Kevon Lee doesn't get as much playing time, maybe they'll look to Iguodala. Fortunately, they did not. He barely played. Oh well. The thing that I am mad about is how bad the Celtics looked. They started off the game horrible, did okay in the second quarter. Third quarter, they came back from a nice deficit at halftime to actually take the lead. And in the fourth quarter, they were terrible. Jason Tatum has been horrendous, god-awful in the fourth quarters. Also want to give a quick shout out to my Twitter. Follow me there, HeartDFS. Put up my core plays, just talk DFS, answer any questions you guys have. Put up my price pick plays, all that good stuff. So make sure to follow me there, HeartDFS. But back to just looking over the last slate. Tatum's just been brutal in the fourth quarter. I mean, I don't know what's happening, but with 6 minutes left in the game, that dude was walking up and down the floor. He had no energy left. I think he had 4 free throw attempts, one out of 2 in the first one, missed both of them in the second time, airballed 2 threes. I think he only had 3 points in the fourth quarter. You look at the box score, you're like, oh, 27, 10, 4, 10, 20 from shooting. That's a good game. No, he's been god-awful. Their whole team has been god-awful in the fourth quarter in multiple of these games. I mean, Steph had a terrible game, and the Warriors still won by 10. It was a little bit more than that. The game blew out by like 15, 20-ish, and the Celtics bench came in and scored a few points. But, yeah, the Celtics looked terrible. Obviously, Horford got pulled with like 6-7 minutes left. Tatum got pulled. They've been so bad. I don't understand it. The Warriors side did well. Clay 21 points. Draymond did 8 and 6. And Steph just had a bad game, and they still won. Why? Because of Andrew Wiggins. Just been an absolute beast. Past 2 games. Maybe does it today. Here's the winning lineup in the big. 250K to first. Wiggins the captain. Tatum, Brown, Thompson, Green, and Gary Payton had almost like a career game off the bench for them. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. Wild. So that's just a look back. A little unfortunate that Tatum and these Celtics guys just keep doing horrendous. If they did fine, I would have probably easily cashed. And if Steph did normal, but oh well, you can't win them all. On to today's slate. We got Steph at the top, 11-6. I'm buying back into Steph. Obviously, yesterday he went 7 of 22, 0 of 9 from 3. I think he's made at least 1 3-point shot in every one of his playoff games. So him going 0 of 9 is literally like a 1 in a million shot. Him shooting that bad. Still got you 33 fantasy points. I expect a big bounce back game here from Steph. Really like him today in the utility spot as well as captain. Tatum, he's been putting up the numbers. It's just like he hasn't been performing well in the fourth, being able to close out the game. He hasn't gone over 30 points once in this series. So I like a bounce back spot here for Tatum. Everyone's kind of talking about how bad he's been in the fourth quarter. Maybe he uses that as kind of fuel to fire him up and do well. So don't mind getting into Tatum here at 11-2. Jaylen Brown, 9-8. Once again, 5 of 18. He was terrible last game. Couldn't hit a shot. 18, 9 and 4, 34.5 fantasy points. So that's kind of like the floor of Jaylen Brown. If he's not hitting the shots, he did a little bit better rebounding and assists, obviously, because he couldn't hit a shot. So he's trying to, provide on other ends. But that's kind of what you get with Jaylen Brown. He has some very low floors, and he can get you a decent high ceiling. So I don't mind throwing him in the captain. I do expect these Celtics to play a lot better than they did last game. Wiggins been unbelievable past 2 games. 7 and 17, then 12 and 23, 17 and 16, and then 26 and 13, 2, 1 and 2. I mean, the man just stuffed this stat sheet. 8,200, the prices come up there. I mean, he's been very solid, especially as a utility player. I mean, he was the optimal captain last slate. Now, I don't think that's going to happen today. He's been decent at scoring. 26 is a little high, especially since Steph wasn't shooting well. Clay wasn't really doing well until the end. I do apologize if you guys can hear that noise. Hopefully not. There's a lot of stuff happening outside, not in my normal setup. So just trying to get this video out there for you guys. So I do apologize for that. But I don't mind getting to, Andrew Wiggins in the utility spot. Everything is just falling down in my background. So sorry about that. But yeah, don't mind getting to Andrew Wiggins in the utility spot. Should have a solid day today. I don't think you can expect that amount of points and rebounds from him. Maybe his average of maybe 6 to 9 rebounds. Points, I'd say around, 18, 20. I think Steph's going to be, a lot better today. They were looking at Andrew Wiggins at the end of the game to score. He was doing well. So you got to keep a couple boards, a few points from that. So I just don't see the upside as a captain for him today. I could be wrong. Maybe he goes for a third game in a row. Maybe he's trying to win that MVP if they win today. So don't mind him as a utility spot. I don't think I'll get there as captain, but you can definitely throw him in there. Marcus Smart, 8K. Disappointing game, 7 to 15. Didn't do much peripheral stat-wise. No steals, no blocks, only 3 rebounds, 2 assists. As I said, Celtics just looked trash. Expect to bounce back spot, so I don't mind getting to him. He can definitely be a captain. Klay Thompson, I'm still waiting for that Klay game where he goes for 30-plus points. Maybe it's today in a closing spot to win the finals. Who knows? I don't mind getting back to him at 7,600. He's been popular, which is surprising, considering he's not really paid off his salary besides that one game, the third one. Other than that, he's just been kind of average. So maybe his ownership drops now that he's kind of priced at 7,600. I like going back to him today. Draymond Green looks decent at 7K. Not going to score the ball a ton, but can get you rebounds, assists, some blocks and steals. He's a little down on that department. He also fouled out. So there is foul trouble with Draymond and ejection trouble with Draymond as well. Robert Williams, I don't mind getting him a hit today. 30 minutes, so his minutes have gone up. He's done really well when it comes to just performing on the defensive end. No blocks or steals in that last game, which is a little unusual for a guy who's averaging over 2 blocks a game. As you can see in the series so far, 4-2, 4-2, none, and then there was no steals. So really expect him to bounce back here. If he's getting 30 minutes, I'd say it's 6,800. Robert Williams looks great. I mean, he could be a sneaky captain play if he gets those guaranteed minutes. Now, that's not a guarantee, so it's a little bit of a risk to throw him in there. He's also not going to come out and score the ball a ton, so you really need him to get those blocks and steals and a decent amount of rebounds to be an optimal captain. But just throwing that out there, really liking the utility spot today. Could be a captain spot, but we'll have to see if he gets those minutes. I'm taking the risk, but I don't know if you guys have to. Al Horford, just not involved offensively. You really need him to do peripheral stats. Assists were down, kind of normal amount of rebounds for him. No blocks, no steals, no points. So I like loading up on these Celtics guys. I mean, if you think the NBA is rigged, then you do think this is going to Game 7 back in San Fran for the Warriors. So if you think that's going to happen, maybe load up on the Celtics guys. Maybe they have a great game. They come out and hit the Warriors in the mouth, and the Warriors can't compete, and it ends up being kind of a blowout. But we'll have to see. I do like kind of being 50-50 on the Warriors and Celtics in my lineup, because I just think it's going to be a good game no matter what. Kevon Looney, only 17 minutes. Now, he did okay, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 points. He was a little bit of foul trouble, so he did lose out on, I'd say, at least 5 minutes. He wasn't out there for a while in a lot of that game because of the foul trouble. He lost a lot of the first half minute. So at 6,200, I don't think he's a must play, or you really have to play him at all. But if you want to kind of go to him for lower ownership, I don't mind it. Derek White should see, as I always say, 20 to 30 minutes. If he's playing well, he'll see closer to 30. If not, he's going to play closer to 20. That's kind of what he did last game. 0-4, came out, didn't do much when he couldn't provide really a spark. But he does have some upside. So at 6K, he'll probably have some lower ownership because of that bad game. Don't mind getting there. Jordan Poole, he's been 14 minutes, bit of spark off the bench, but that's really it. He doesn't really have a ton of upside in the series that we've seen so far. Obviously, overall, he does have upside scoring, but it's kind of limited in the series just in how the Celtics defend him and how everything's kind of going through Steph. So at 5,800, don't think you really have to play him at all. Otto Porter Jr., 15 minutes. He's not doing well when he's starting because obviously all the production is going to go through Steph and Clay and kind of Draymond. So I don't understand why they keep starting them. They'll probably start him again today, which if they do, I don't really like him as a play at 4,600. Now I do expect him to play a little bit better in 15 minutes with only 6.5 fantasy points, but him starting doesn't provide him the opportunity to come off the bench and kind of shoot the ball more, rebound more with a smaller lineup, get more open opportunities and looks from three. So if he starts, I don't think he has to do it. If he doesn't, I do have some interest at 4,600. Gary Payton, 4,200. I'm sure he'll be very popular again today. People are probably doing box score watch, see that he got almost 28 fantasy points in Lockman, 4,200. I think he's an okay play. I don't really think you can expect 15 points from him, 6 of 8 from the field with 3 steals and 5 rebounds. Do expect a steal or 2, but not at 15 points. At 4,200, looks like an okay value play. Don't think you get to do it. If you want to go to Grant Williams, I mean, you really didn't come out and hit his threes. He hasn't been involved in the series at all, so probably expecting 15 to 20 minutes from him unless someone gets in foul trouble. Otherwise, I just don't think he could do it. Pritchard, no. Played 5 minutes. Bjelica, no. I mean, Iguodala played, 4 minutes? So it's kind of just the normal suspects that are playing today. So I think my intentions with today's slate and how I'm going to attack it is I think I'm going to go back to I'm really debating between going with Steph as a captain or going to a guy like Marcus Smart as captain for me. I do think these Celtics are going to play a lot better today. Obviously, I think Steph's going to play a lot better today. And I do think there's that opportunity for Clay for one of these days to go off for 30-plus points. I mean, I'm waiting for it. I mean, he has that ability. He has that upside. He's been pretty bad in these playoffs and kind of the whole season. Not been normal Clay, so maybe in this, closeout game today, maybe he comes out firing hot from 3, hits 8, 10. He can get up there with the 3. So debating on those kind of 3-ish as my captain plays and, filling out the rest like that. So I guess for today, I'll just go with, let's just say Marcus Smart as my captain. As of right now, is kind of like a core play. Marcus in there. Steph, Tatum. I like Clay. Leaves you 3,800 left over, which is not a ton. Obviously, that means you had to get someone cheap in there, like maybe Grant Williams. And if you do that, 3,800 left over. Doesn't leave you a lot. Like, you'd maybe go to Iguodala. You'd have to hope for foul trouble for him to get a good amount of run. Otherwise, he's not really going to play. So I know that doesn't leave you with much. I'll just say that these are my core plays for today. Smart, Curry, and Tatum as of right now. I do think you need at least another Warrior in the lineup with Steph. Obviously, I like that being Draymond just because of how he kind of facilitates and runs the offense for them. There's foul trouble with him. There's also the scoring problems with him, but at 7K, don't mind getting to him. But as of right now, these are the core plays. Smart for me, Cap, Steph, and then Tatum. So if you like the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Do appreciate your guys' support. I'll have an NBA PrizePicks video out later today. But yeah, right now, like these 3 guys, expect this to be a close, hard-fought game. Hopefully, both sides do well offensively, and that leads to good DFS scores and good PrizePicks scores. So if you guys like the content, please leave a like and subscribe. Truly, truly appreciate your guys' support. Thank you for 600 subscribers. It's been huge. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.